I mean, it's quite hard to recall exactly quite what it was that started to feel a bit odd, really. There were some things that just sounded really weird, some things that she started seeing and imagining and so on. Probably the really odd thing is quite how quickly it sort of flips, because Deb was amazingly lucid, coherent, intelligent, sensible, I don't know, half the time, and a bit strange, the rest of the time. So you're not quite sure which Deb you're dealing with.
Evie was actually 3 weeks early, so it was a little bit of a shock. We'd only just picked up the pram, I think 3 days beforehand. Waters broke about 6 o'clock in the evening, and she was born by about 5:30 the following morning. That's when, looking back, I knew that something was not right, because I hadn't slept for 24 hours, plus I'd had 12 hours of labour, but I just was wide awake and just wanting to do something.
I mean, I guess there were sort of things, looking back, where Deb was sort of saying, right, our baby's feet are too warm because my feet are too warm. So there were some odd things that didn't quite kind of sound right, and it's kind of hard to know how to react to that, whether it's just a sort of, okay, that's a strange thing that's gone on in her mind, that's fine, it doesn't really matter, it's not a sign of anything particularly, or whether there is something more significant there.
I didn't think I was anything wrong with me, really. Not to start with, certainly, because all of the things that I was experiencing were good things. It was all the angels talking to me, and it was all happy, and she was finding me car parking spaces, and she was making sure I was eating healthily and things like that. It was only the point when my brain said, right, well, if you're believing in all the good stuff and you're believing in all the angels, you must be believing that in the bad stuff as well. And the one thing that tipped me off the edge was one evening going downstairs to get something from the kitchen, and not being able to go past the downstairs toilet door because I was convinced that there was an evil creature of some description. I could just sense it. So I came back up the stairs, woke Chris up and just said, look, whatever I say tomorrow morning, however I am, we need to get help because I'm not right.
How did I feel? I guess you've got this responsibility of being a new parent. And then you've got this, well, I've got a partner who's clearly only part of this parenting thing for some of the time. Is this just how our world's going to be? Is it going to get better? Am I going to be a single parent with extra responsibility for a little while? Arg help, I think, is pretty much how it felt at the time.
It was a Sunday, so we rang up NHS 24. We managed to get a doctor out to see me. He then referred me to psychiatric unit in the East End of Glasgow. So we managed to get an appointment there that evening. The consultant concerned said that I was at no danger to myself. So at that point she decided that actually it wasn't down to them to look after us anyway, and she referred us to North Lanarkshire. And I think we can quite honestly say that probably saved my life.
We were immensely lucky in having CPNs. I think they came to see us daily to start with. It was just the point of the day that you looked forward to most of all was these people kind of coming around, just being able to kind of sit and discuss it with, and you could kind of unburden yourselves and a little bit. It was kind of pretty vital, I think, to us keeping it together, really.
It's taken me 12 years to actually feel comfortable enough to talk to other people about it. And I don't know if that's just a stigma thing, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you suspect that your partner or your daughter or whoever is going through something, talk to somebody about it.